The way tonight's game is between St. Louis and Kamehameha. Captains for both teams meeting at the midfield as we get set to have the coin toss this evening. St. Louis coming in, of course, coming off their win over Punahou, a big win, 53-36 over the Buff and Blue. Kamehameha comes in at 3-1, I should say, courtesy of a 21-7 win last week over Iolani. Basically, this game could decide the ILH first-round title. A Kamehameha win would throw the whole ILH first-round picture into a three-way tie between St. Louis, of course, Kamehameha, and, of course, Punahou. And, of course, the toss by the referee here. And we'll find out in just a second how they decide things here. And so they put everybody into the proper perspective, proper positions here. And Kamehameha will receive, and St. Louis will kick off.
Al, let me ask you a couple of questions going into tonight's game here between the Warriors and the Saints. Just how do the numbers come up between the two teams? Who is really kind of favored here, and who are the stronger ones, the biggest team, and things of that nature?
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, basically the way it works out here is that St. Louis, of course, is the ILH first-round champ for all intents and purposes, coming off their win over Punahou last week. Kamehameha can force a tie if they can win tonight's game. The numbers game, if you really look at it here for Kamehameha, is that they're very good on the ground, okay, primarily, and that's what you really need to be against this St. Louis offense. Your best defense is to keep them off the field, possess the ball, move downfield, try and get a couple of scores. You have to be aware, however, St. Louis, on the other hand, behind Cal Lee, their defense basically good at generating turnovers. Then their offense able to make the big plays and get the scores. For St. Louis tonight, what they need to do, of course, is put Kamehameha in an early hole. On the other hand, for Kamehameha, Brick Hini Galuteria and his runner, Ryan Kawahikawa, will have to be able to possess the ball, keep St. Louis offense off the field.
Well, so far here at Aloha Stadium with the Kamehameha Warriors playing, we have not yet had a bad game here at Aloha Stadium. The Warriors have always been able to keep everything all put together. But St. Louis, as I understand it, has been one of the tough teams in the state throughout history here. And I'm going to go back and say that the Warriors are still a fairly brand new team out here. They don't have all the experience. But I think we're in for a real good game, and our kickoff is gone.
And this comes into the hands of number 21 for Kamehameha. That's Alfred Ramos, the wide receiver. And he's taken down out around his own, call it the 20-yard line, possibly out to the 21. Brick Hini Galuteria to be the quarterback for the Warriors.
Yeah, let's take another look at it here. He had a tough time trying to pick that one up. Let's see, he moves on down through.
Trying to hurdle his own man. Brick Hini Galuteria, as I said, leading out his team on 1st and 10 at their own 21 for the Warriors. Galuteria looking, all kinds of pressure, now rolls away from it. Finds a man downfield, fires complete. This is the Dylan Ching, his big, dangerous, quick wide receiver out there. So right away, Kamehameha coming out, and Galuteria showing he can throw that ball.
Okay, and he pitches it in there, brings it down, boom, and gets hooked.
1st and 10 on the 36 for the Warriors now. Double slot formation for Galuteria as he looks over the Crusader defense. Galuteria, the pitch out to Kawahikawa, or excuse me, that's number 21, Ramos again, the slot back. So Kamehameha looking to develop their outside running attack, trying to give Kawahikawa some room up inside by giving the ball, as you'll see here, out to Ramos.
Basically, yes.
And Galuteria calling the signals out there for Kamehameha. Double slot formation for the Warriors. On 2nd and 6. Galuteria, all kind of pressure, and finally the time runs out on him as he's brought down back around his own 30-yard line.
Galataria has had to put a lot of force, a lot of fight into this year, getting injured on the very first game that we had here at Aloha Stadium.
And you see here the pressure by the Crusader defense all over him, all those dark jerseys coming down. As finally bringing him down for St. Louis out there. Credit number 58, Bruce Asili, the linebacker, 5'10", 220, a senior. Cal Lee looking on. A lot of people talk about the St. Louis offense, but it all starts with the Crusader defense, as you see here.
It's going to be a good game throughout the night here between the Warriors and the Saints, and it's getting off to a very good start here so far. We're seeing a lot of activity out here. Going to be moving down. Here's the call.
Delay of game called against the Warriors. This will back them up to inside their own 30-yard line. Third and call this 19 from the Warriors' 27-yard line as the Crusaders' Cal Lee looks on. Warriors need a big play here, and one more whistle goes again, and let's see what this is all about. And so the officials get all this cleared up. And we come up with third down and long as Galataria reverses it, gets it to number 80, his wide receiver, Keali'i Gibson out there. 6 feet, 155-pound senior. They try to work the inside receiver screen. Nothing doing. Fourth down coming up. Again, as you see here, they get it out to Gibson. But immediately, St. Louis recognizing the inside receiver screen play, and the defense comes up, and Peter Salavea applying the finishing touches to Gibson out there for St. Louis. The reception back deep to the return man, Ornelas, explosive player, but Kamehameha gets a hand on him, and out there to haul him down is number 34, Charles Calais Awong. Kamehameha looking to keep Ornelas penned up, as you'll see here.
Yeah, let's take another look at it there, Al. Pushing on that. Whoa, backs it out. And moves back down the field. And we're going to take a look one more time back down on the field and get the official. Oh, yeah. Definitely, you see it there. And here comes the call.
They say blocking below the knees. This against the Crusaders on the return, Mike. And that'll back the Crusaders up to the shadow of their own goalpost inside the 10-yard line. Officially, it'll be the 10. First and 10 on the 10.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of scores made out on this game at this particular time, but let's take a good look at it. It's going to be a good defensive game right here.
But now Arsenault on first and 10 from shotgun fires it out complete to number 21, Casey Lopes for St. Louis. Young man, first down and 10 plus a little extra at the end of the play.
Well, let's take another look at it there one more time. It picks it back up into Lopes. And almost on the top of his head there. Taking a good run as Lopez. Credit Leland Kalua with the ankle tackle on that. 5'8", 150-pound senior defensive back. Arsenault under center. Gives off to the big running back, Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala. And that even sounds big as he busts it out over the 35 to the 36-yard line, and another Crusader first down. Let's take a look at this one more time. Look at the power and speed out of Fumatoa as he runs down there. Got to be a tough one to get stopped out there. Finally does take a tackle by Kamehameha player Elton Perkins, getting right in there on that play. Plowing Perkins into the turf on that one. Trip sets for Arsenault, runs into Fuamatu Ma'afala, knocked down for the loss, and wrapping him up down there, big number 91, Keali'i Lum, 6'1", 210, a junior for the Warriors. Okay, back to a replay on this one as gets hit by his own player as he dives on in there. And so on the loss, call it 2nd and 15 on the St. Louis 30 for the Crusaders here.
Arsenault with no men in the backfield behind him. All receivers spread out all over. This pass complete to number 21, Casey Lopes. And Lopes out of bounds over the 35, call it maybe the 36, possibly 37-yard line.
Okay, well, Casey doing a good shot there. Let's take a look again how much trouble he had at getting out there and picking up on that pass. Lopes it in there, and Lopes loses his balance just momentarily there, trying to pick it up to where to go as the Ian Lorenzo got into the middle of it there and got him all confused and put him out of bounds.
Credit also Leland Kalua on the play again, defensive back, 5'8", 150, a senior. Once again, this is Arsenault with time. Finds Ornelas, well over Ornelas' head. Ornelas had a step on the defender. Number 41 out there for Kamehameha, Ian Lorenzo. Lorenzo about 5 yards trailing the play, and that ball just too tall for Ornelas.
I think we take another look at it. I don't think Lorenzo gave him enough pressure on there. I just think that Arsenault is a little bit off the beat right there of getting it downfield. Got a little bit too excited as he was there. I don't think Lorenzo had any pressure on him.
So back to receive is Gibson as Ornelas punches this away for St. Louis. This will settle into the hands instead, though, of number 24, Kamehameha. Jonah Martin, and a turnover. Let's see.
Going to be
St. Louis ball.
That is going to be a good one. As we take a look at the Cam coach down here, Geisen. And let's take a look one more time to see if we can see that ball snap out of there. If he got it ripped out of his hands. Yes.
Oh, just a good strip tackle. Credit number 43 for the Crusaders.
Kamakahi.
That's Mike Ane. As Arsenault brings the Crusaders up to the line, they have 1st and 10 on the 22 of the Warriors here.
That's
Casey
one way.
Lopes.
Okay, got to take a timeout.
And the Crusaders disorganized, and Arsenault says, hey, hold on, and he calls timeout on the field.
Okay, we'll take a short timeout.
An E.
E.
Give me an S.
Come on, give me an S.
What do you get?
Yes!
And back to action here at Aloha Stadium. 5:47 remaining first quarter. And St. Louis, as I said, good at generating turnovers off their defense with good field position on 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line of the Warriors. Basically, St. Louis number 1 in total team defense, allowing only 177 yards rushing and 503 yards passing. Total 680 for a season after 4 games.
What a way out there for St. Louis to get down that field. I don't think they really had that one in the playbook, but they certainly picked up a lot of yardage on that one. Okay.
Arsenault with trip sets on the near side, sets up in shotgun. Arsenault, the very mobile quarterback, guns it out and picked off out there by number 41 of Kamehameha, Ian Lorenzo. Lorenzo with some space down the sidelines, finally ridden out of bounds by the Crusader on the coverage.
I think Lorenzo is definitely going to be a hero in there. Get ready for take a look at it here one more time to watch all this action with Lorenzo. Picks this one off. Bullet pass in there. Lorenzo is there.
That pass just a little low for Ornelas as Arsenault looking to try and penetrate that zone, but good play by Geisen's defense there. Blaine Geisen of Kamehameha, the coach, as taking it is Galutaria. He flips it out. This is the Dylan Ching, the dangerous one. Slot back, 5'9", 160-pound junior. Dangerous receiver, dangerous slot back runner coming out on that run.
Okay, let's take one more look at here. I think Galataria is out, flips it out, gets it on over to number 22, Dylan Cheng, which is one of the better playmakers there for the Kamehameha Warriors. Back to the play.
So on 2nd and 10, we'll call it, at the 43-yard line of the Warriors. The give is to number 35, Kawa Hikawa. third leading rusher in the league, breaks midfield, busts it big over the 40 down to possibly the 35-yard line.
Okay, take one more look at it here. Was this an easy one? Not really. He's got to power it on in there. As he runs on down, Ryan is going to make that play down, and he goes down.
Crusaders caught in a run blitz there, trying to stuff the play up front for Kamehameha, but instead, Kawa Hikawa manages to get by. Spinning around, this is Tuiala, and he is stuffed by the middle of the Crusader defense. Coming up to meet him, number 94, Jacob Saole, 6 foot, 179-pound senior. And that'll bring up second down and 11 now. They call it 12 back at the 38-yard line of the Crusaders. Warriors, though, busting up a big play. And as I said, this is their best defense. Possess the ball and burn the clock. Keep the St. Louis offense off the field. The give once again to Kawa Hikawa as he pounds it up the middle there for about a yard pickup.
Kawa Hikawa has always been one of the bigger playmakers also here in the at least the stadium games, and I guess throughout the whole thing there as he's playing fullback. Only 5'7", and we can all relate to that. Not really that big a player, but pretty stocky at 170 pounds.
291 yards rushing gives him third place in the league among individual statistics. Galataria once again.
Backs it.
Galataria this time going upstairs, guns it out in the direction of his receiver, number 86. And that's Amon Kaonohi.
Okay, take a look at it there one more time. As Galataria passes out to it, and it's just a little bit far to his right. Not quite able to pick it up.
And so that brings up fourth down and 10 now for the Warriors.
And
they'll
punt
punt it away.
formation.
This is Keali'i Gibson. Kealoha along with Ornelas back deep to receive. Ornelas calls for, or rather this is, Kealoha, number 38, calling for the fair catch, I should say, inside his 10, down around his 7-yard line, where St. Louis will have it again in the shadow of their own goalpost on 1st and 10.
Okay, Kealoha did his smart thing out there, just sort of backed out of that whole thing, called a timeout as heads picked up on the ball. We now have a change of hands, and of course, as you always say, the score is all tied up 0-0.
And Darnell, the ace Arsenault, checks in for St. Louis here on 1st and 10, shotgun formation. Arsenault back to pass, looking. Oh, fires it out in the direction of Kealoha. And Kealoha had a step on his man out there, and that pass just a little wide for the young man.
Fast game, fast quarter. Was into 2 minutes and 58 seconds left here in this first quarter between the Saints and the Warriors. Saints do have possession of the ball down in their own, near their own end zone, I should say.
And Kealoha had a step there on Elton Perkins, the defensive back, number 33. So Arsenault picking on that Kamehameha secondary out there, Mike.
Arsenault takes a look.
An inside screen. Here comes Kealoha. This is the big play for St. Louis. They busted out over to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Crusaders.
Kealoha was not real happy at all with his action out there. Thought that he was going to make the full run. Let's take a look. He gets loose. Down to Kealoha. Out there all by his lonesome. Got good blocking right up through here and almost got through it and then gets plugged right there by the Warrior, card number 28,
Kalua. And the pass complete out to the receiver out there. I believe that's number 84. And that is, of course, wide receiver Kavika Ordenstein, 6'1", 190, a senior.
Yeah. Take one more look at it here. There's Kalua. Dodges in there and makes the move on it.
And Ordenstein, of course, the young man from St. Louis, the basketball player with fine leaping ability. Let me tell you, having seen him the last 3 years play for the Crusader basketball team. Here's Arsenault on 2nd and 5. And he gets it out complete to the big man, Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala, number 6 out there. And we're talking someone 6 feet 250 at a fullback.
Well, Lorenzo was right there that time. Boom, clipped him, knocked him down. He was right there on that pass.
And the Crusader cheerleaders firing up the crowd here.
And not a bad crowd entered one more time. Roughly about 2,872 people.
Third and 1
this
for
game.
Arsenault. And he fires it out in the direction of Jason Kamakahi out there, 5'6" senior slot back. And that comes up short, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Crusaders. Kamehameha with an early defense, with early defensive effort, able to hem in the Crusaders here with 1:19 remaining in the first quarter.
Fast quarter this time. There goes our first flag up.
And a shift by the Saints. An encroachment by Kamehameha. 5 yards and a first down for St. Louis.
Exactly. That penalty gave them their first down, and that's a good break for them. Not that they need much of that. I think that we're going to run a very, very tight game here. Not a big runaway by either one of them. Defensive sides are very good. The coaching's very good for these high school teams out here. They both move out there like machines, things that you would normally see in the college ball or even in the pro ball series. Takes them a little bit longer to run it out of there, but they've got it 1 minute and 19 seconds left.
Arsenault 1st and 10 on the 39 of the Warriors. Gives it ahead to Fuamatu Ma'afala, who plows ahead. Give him about 4 yards on the pickup. Brings up a 2nd and 6 now on the 42-yard line for St. Louis.
Let's take a look at Tennyson Tom here as he works in. Right there. Tom, number 60, gets it in the picture book. Is taking the tackle on that one for Kamehameha.
Good takedown by Tom on that play to bring down Fuamatu Ma'afala. Not an easy thing to do. Crusaders Arsenault now on 2nd and 6. Dances
He's on the
around,
run.
under pressure. Manages to get away from one man and dances out of bounds. Maybe possibly might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
We do have a flag on that play. So we'll take a look at here when the officials come back together on it. Arsenault really got himself in a world of trouble back there, and we'll take a look back here as we take a wait to find out exactly what was going on with the yellow flag down on the field. Okay.
Could be clipping. Could possibly be clipping or blocking behind the back. We'll see what the call is.
You make the call.
Illegal blocking technique.
No, they're going to call holding.
Second down.
It's the kind of thing that happens usually when a quarterback or any runner will reverse their field here, as you'll see.
Let's see if we can see if this one on holding. On Arsenault. Taking a look. Not there. Under the pressure. I'm not sure how they're going to call that one. Well, we'll take a look at our Kamehameha coach, Geisen, as he takes a look at his players, get them all pumped up.
And this is Arsenault on 2nd and long. Completes it out to number 21, Casey Lopes. And Lopes for a short gain. Give him about 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down at the Crusader 30.
Here's the play stopper one more time, that number 41 of the Warriors, as he seems to be all over that field tonight. He's there on the receiver, and we are talking about Ryan Lorenzo.
And that's the end of the first quarter with our score, St. Louis and Kamehameha in a scoreless tie. And back to action here at Aloha Stadium. I'm Al Morikami along with Mike Shriver. 3rd down and 18 on the 30 for St. Louis.
It's still going to be a hard one to figure out which team out here. Both of them geared up. They are running very good here this evening. And it's a very good clear evening. A lot of good clear air out there. These boys should be able to work that football.
And this is Arsenault on 3rd and 18. Looking deep, has Ornelas. Oh, in and out of his hands.
all the way down to that 33-yard line, and that would have been a good yardage maker right there. Got it down to 33 yards, goes incomplete. They'll move back upfield. Let's take a look one more time here. Good long pass all the way downfield, and just about had it.
Would have been a tremendous catch by Ornelas.
You're talking about 60-some yards there almost on that pass.
And Ornelas roots this one out under heavy pressure. Drops into the hands of number 20 for Kamehameha, Jonah Martin, 5'7" slot back, 145-pound junior.
Well, you got to take a look at this as the ball goes back to the 33-yard line, and that's just about where they got their pass out the last time. So they kicked it out there, but we do have a turnover on that one.
And so Galoteria on 1st and 10 at the Warrior 33 with double slot formation, left and right, wide receivers left and right. The give, though, is up the middle. Or on the fake, it's a pitch out to Dylan Ching, and Ching works the corner for a 6-yard gain out around the 40-yard line of the Warriors.
Well, we take a look at it here as Keone Makanalua making the cut, almost cuts in there. So Nakanelua making the tackle there on the far side.
So 2nd and 4 now as Galoteria pitches it out. This time finds number 20, Martin. Martin, first down and more as he's finally knocked out of bounds up around the 40-yard line.
Well, taking a look at it here one more time. Galateria under a lot of pressure tonight by St. Louis. Does get it all kicked out there. Jonah Martin gets actually just pushed out of bounds there. Stops the clock at 11 minutes and 29 seconds. Going into the second quarter. And a lot of good high school football.
So on 1st and 10 on the 45 of the Crusaders, Kamehameha now on the march. Galoteria tries to take it himself, but automatically wrestled down Peter Salavea, the linebacker, in to apply the tackle, the ankle tackle around Galoteria. Stops him for no gain.
It's kind of hard to figure out who all got on the top of this one as we take a look at the replay here. Looks like there was blue Saint shirts all over coming at him, and he got thrown off balance right there by Nazareno. So Nazareno will go into the picture book there and make that tackle on the quarterback, and that's got to be a little bit of extras.
Well, I don't know which one you're looking at, but I got Peter Salavea as the linebacker out there. Kawahikawa crashing off the right side of that line for Kamehameha makes about 3 yards, and that'll be it.
Okay, let's take a look one more time as Kawahikawa tries to drive through that line. Lost his balance. Got hit there by the ankles. Drops the ball. Gathers it back up. Now there's a save. Give that kid a raise.
And Joseph Mendonça applying the big hit. 5'8", 183-pound senior. Wrapping him up there. This will bring up a 3rd and 7, and Kamehameha takes time out. So with our score, a scoreless tie, we take time out with 10-11 remaining here in the second quarter.
Hi, son. What you doing?
Fixing this train.
All right. You need some help?
Yeah.
What you got? What are you doing? Booking it out? Oh, the man over there. Got it. Got it?
Yep.
Okay, son. Are you up in the front? Oh.
And back to action at Aloha Stadium, where it is St. Louis and the Warriors in a scoreless tie. 10-11 remaining second quarter. 3rd and 8 on the 43-yard line. for Kamehameha. They call it 3rd and 8. It's more like 3rd and 7, actually, from our measurement up here. Galataria, the give. Kawa Hikawa ahead. First down and a little bit extra as he spins out of the tackle.
Look out.
And manages to bust the feet downfield over the 10-yard line. Officially, they call it the 7. Big run by the young man. 3rd leading rusher in the ILH this season.
Let's take a look at that one more time as Kawa Hikawa comes out of this mess and tries to run, gets loose. There had to be 4 people all over the side of him there as Kawa Hikawa comes on down through and then gets knocked down by Scott Lee out there.
And this time Burgess and Galataria will keep it himself. Burgess the man on the fake as Galataria tried to turn it up by himself. Coach Blaine,
I'd say we're kind of getting down to the danger zone down there right now. We're sitting on the 9-yard line, 9 minutes, 22 seconds. Take one more look at it.
Nice tackle there applied by number 43 of the Crusaders, making the initial hit, Mike Ane, the linebacker out there. But on the other hand, Kamehameha knocking on the door here.
On the 5-yard line.
And all kinds of a mix-up out there as
everywhere.
flags go flying. You know, Mike, I talked to Coach Blaine Geisen earlier this week. He said going into this game against the Crusaders, basically he said the best defense against these guys is just hoping that that tidal wave earlier this week shows up now. Well, they've shown up with a tidal wave named Kawa Hikawa, who's basically busting up some big runs for the Warriors.
He's doing phenomenal out there, as all the players are.
Checking in for the Warriors goal line
offense. Did you get your T-shirt
here
on tsunami? You survived the tsunami?
What tsunami? Ben Casimiro, by the way,
Tsunami
offensive
Tuesday.
lineman. 6 feet, 255, checking in for the Warriors here. The handoff is to Burgess once again. Burgess, the short, or rather, that's Kawa Hikawa. They took Burgess out, and Kawa Hikawa comes in, and he powers it up inside on 3rd and goal.
Okay, let's take a look one more time. I think they lost about 1 yard on that one. Actually, they counted down as 2 yards as our man out there, Kawa Hikawa.
And
Back to the line.
Galataria brings them out of the huddle on 3rd and 7 on the 7-yard line. This is a big Warrior offensive line, we should mention.
Well, I think we got an official timeout there, don't we?
Yes, we do. In order to mention, by the way, when we talk about the Warrior line, of course, they go about 270 across from the 2 guards in the center. The tackles go about 220, 225. So a very big offensive line opening holes right now for Kamehameha up front with their running attack, as the referees gather to have a little conference and figure out just what it is they're calling or what they're not calling out there.
I think they're actually saying they're going to go to Disneyland, but Geisen out there is getting a little bit worried. He's trying to figure out which way they're going to go with this call. They're still discussing this. Now they say Disney World. No, Disneyland. Disney World, Disneyland. Here's the call.
Look back 750, 750, 750.
Well, whatever that call was, they sent Kamehameha back into the huddle.
I think the Kamehameha boys are watching Geisen over there making his signals. They're taking a look. Blaine Geisen.
They may have been called for delay of game, is what it possibly may be. Ball was spotted down around the 3-yard line. Now they're back around 3rd and 7.
They actually lost the 2 yard. They were spotted on the 5-yard, and they actually lost that in that last play. They lost the 2 yards. Now we're waiting again. Blaine Geisen now showing that he acknowledges.
Okay, I'm told
Whatever it was.
No, basically I was just told, Mike, that they just wanted 5 seconds put back on the game clock. So the fake to Kawa Hikawa. Here goes Galataria. Finds a man on the goal line. Touchdown, Kamehameha.
Yes, sir.
Gathering in the scoring pass. Alfred Ramos, slot back. 5'8", 155, the senior.
Ramos is in there. They're going to come back and go for the kick on this one. So the first score on the board at 7 minutes and 46 seconds to go. Second quarter. Kamehameha is on the boards with 6 points. Looking for the kick now. For Keona Higa is on the ball and through the uprights.
And so that makes it 7-0 now, Kamehameha, over the Crusaders. 7:46 remaining here in the second quarter.
Okay, let's take a look at this touchdown pass one more time as they play it out here. Galliutaria sees his man over here. He is wide open, almost drops the ball, has to gather it all back up. So Ramos is the man that goes on the boards right now as getting the very, very first touchdown in this football game between the Warriors and the Crusaders. Probably one of the better all-time football games in high school football at Aloha Stadium on this Friday evening. Okay, score is up. Back to football.
And back to receive will be Kealoha along with Ornelas for the Crusaders, as teeing it up for Kamehameha Keone Higa to kick off following the extra point attempt. 7-yard pass from Galutaria to Albert Ramos in the extra point. 7-0 Kamehameha with 7:46 remaining here in the first half. Kealoha along the sidelines loses it, and the Crusaders will have it at their own 8-yard line.
Now, that has to be embarrassing. Let's take a look at this boy's face when this ball comes down to his arms right there through him. Now, will they give him a new nickname before he's out of this? Will he have a new nickname by next Saturday?
Well, we'll see what happens. As Eddie Kealoha better advised perhaps to let that ball bounce out of bounds and get the penalty and have the ball up around the 35. Instead, the Crusaders once again working from the shadow of their own goalpost for the fourth time this evening. 7:44 remaining in the first half.
As they pitch the ball out, flags are up on that 7-yard line.
Now this may
all
be
the way
either
down.
Now this may either be illegal procedure or it may be illegal man in motion. Cal Lee looking on with disdain, wondering when they're going to get their offense untracked. Of course, you have to wonder after scoring 53 points last week against Punahou if that has an influence here.
5 yards after this first down.
Now there's your call.
So they're going to call this encroachment by the Crusaders. Offensive encroachment. That'll back them up 5 yards to the 4-yard line. And trip sets to the far side for the Crusaders. Once again, the fake to Ornelas. This time the give to Fuamatu Ma'afala. Ma'afala manages to surge ahead, get a couple of yards, but that'll be it. In general, Kamehameha's defense doing a good job this evening, Mike, of hemming in the St. Louis offense. Not an easy thing to do.
Okay, let's take one more look here. As we take a look at it, as Ma'afala moves that ball. That boy can move. That boy can move. He's got a good future for him in football if he wants to keep ahead of it.
2nd and 10 now for the Crusaders on their own 9-yard line. And another referee's whistle goes, and another flag goes flying, and we'll see what this is all about.
Well, not a whole lot of flags out there. We also making a substitution on Kamehameha's side.
Dead ball. Encroachment by the offense.
An encroachment on the offense by St. Louis, and once again they're backed up inside their own 5-yard line. So the Crusader offense getting a little jumpy here, getting hit with 2 encroachment penalties on first down, and then on a 2nd down play. Will bring up 2nd and 14 on the 3-yard line. Crusaders having all kinds of problems getting started tonight. Not normally a problem. Arsenault dancing around, finds his wide receiver out there. That's number, I believe, 84, Kavika Ordenstein. And taken out of bounds on the play by number 28 of the Warriors, Leland Kalua.
Let's take another look at it as we play this one out of here. Arsenault looking downfield. He's wide open, but Kalua is right there. Now has a lot of trouble dotting him right there.
So that brings up a 3rd and 6 on the 11 for the Crusaders. Man in motion is Lopes. Trip sets to the far side. Arsenault looking, loops this to the middle. Into the hands of Ornelas. He's gone. George Ornelas. "89-yard touchdown pass reception."
Well,
Number 14, Darnell Arsenault.
I wish that they put their grades together. He was on the 11-yard line out there when he started with that ball on the pitch out. So they just went nearly the full field. 89 yards, they moved the ball. Now we have a game that is starting all over.
And the extra point, no good. So Kamehameha manages to hold a 1-point lead, but the damage has been done by George Ornelas. 89 yards on a touchdown pass completion from Darnell Arsenault. And most of that, Ornelas footwork.
If I were Blaine Geisen on this one, I would probably be sitting back and taking a look and say, what happened here? They burst right out of there. When you're going to pull out 89 yards, is they going to show a good pass? The pass comes down all the way to the 45-yard line, and he is gone and down the road. George Ornelas for the Crusaders, taking a look over his shoulder, said, nah, 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 you're not going to catch me this time. I've done my job. I'm out of here.
You may stop him once, you may stop him twice, but you will not stop George Ornelas on a full evening of action here at Aloha
6
Stadium.
minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in the first half as we are basically in an all-new, brand-new ball game. Almost steps it out of bounds, coming on down the field.
And this is Dylan Ching, their hot, dangerous, as I said, wide receiver, slot back. He can fly, and he shows it there.
They're going to drop him out there at the 28-yard line, as they're going to say that's where he went out of bounds. Definitely a first down.
So inside the 30-yard line, call it the 28 officially for Kamehameha in St. Louis territory, thanks to a big rip run here by Dylan Ching, the dangerous one.
Dylan just about got away with all the marbles here, as Dylan is running this one all the way through, and he's starting to make up a lot of real estate here as he moves on down the field. But now you've got your kicker coming in and tags him out of there for the Crusaders.
That's Eddie Pack taking him out as Blaine Geisen looking on, obviously feeling good about the 7-6 lead he maintains, although a slim lead, but a fine return there by Dylan Ching. Credit him, I believe that would be about, we'll call it about 45, 50-yard return, I believe, officially is what they will credit him with.
Do we have a good game here or what?
This is going to be a shootout.
Kamehameha Warriors, St. Louis Crusaders are making their first battle heads up here before they get out to the state finals later on, and probably see these teams back here for the state finals. What do you think?
Could possibly be that. Of course, Punahou will probably have something to say with that if they can stay healthy. Punahou, a fine team of athletes, but in their case, what you have to remember is that, of course, they have a numbers problem in that they don't have a roster that's as deep as Kamehameha or St. Louis.
Talking about that, I should probably watch what I say about these football teams if I want to stay healthy.
Okay. Anyway, it'll be 1st and 10 on the 28 when we return to action here.
Is that a lot better? Yeah, okay. I still had it up to Jesse mode.
And back to action as the injured player for the Crusaders comes off the field. That's number 57. I believe that's linebacker Matthew Mariano coming off, 5'8", 183-pound junior. Among those that were on the St. Louis kickoff return team, or I should say kick coverage team, Dylan Ching returning the ball from his own approximately around the 15-yard line and taking it up around the Crusader 28. Ching in
Dylan
there
Ching
now.
is going to have a lot of future with him there as being just a junior this year and getting a lot of play action.
Ching in the slot here on the near side. Galateria barking signals as the Crusaders change up defense on him. The give is to Kawa Hikawa. He's met by the St. Louis defense, and Peter Salaveo, one of the first defenders there to meet him.
Okay. Take another look at it from a slightly different angle. Kawa Hikawa is all bent out of shape, lost his balance, gave it a very good try there all the way towards the end there. Did not make it a yardage at all on that play.
You want to talk about fine defenders. Peter Salaveo, one of many fine ones for St. Louis. Galateria on second down and 9 now they call it. They try to go inside with Ching that time, and Ching makes a couple of yards out to the, we'll call it officially the 34. Bring up third down and about 5 here.
Okay, Kelly Bryant there is going to go down in the book. Let's take a look at Bryant as he goes after him. Pass off. And Bryant comes in right from the sides there to make the kick on that one.
And so on 3rd and 5, Galateria back to pass, looking downfield, fires in the direction of Keali'i Gibson, and this in and out of his hands.
Well, Galateria making a very good try at that one, getting that all the way downfield. Pretty well covered.
And here the double coverage for St. Louis, the man on, and that ball just a little too far out of his hands. Galateria not known for his passing expertise, at least from long distance. So Higa will come on to kick, and Gibson will spot for him. Ball put down at about the 31. This is a 41-yard kick. Good.
Good. Kamehameha back on the scoreboard. But Keone Higa doing the kick through the uprights. Keone Higa. Let's take one more look as Keone just barely makes it through there. Drops right down there, and you're not much more than about 4 or 5 feet over that upright across there. Keone Higa for Kamehameha Warriors making a good kick out there, spreading it out a little bit more now. At 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. Score remains at 10-6.
And Coach Blaine Geisen with a 4-point lead right now, heading into halftime with 4:40 remaining here in the half. Second quarter action. Kealoha along with Ornelas, the two big players for the Crusaders. Back deep to receive. Higa legs a deep one, and flags go flying. We could have offside, I believe, against Kamehameha. If it is, this will back them up to the 35-yard line. We'll see.
Well, we do have a flag down on the play here to see exactly what came out on that flag for the kickoff. It'll look pretty good so far from our vantage point here.
Encroachment on the receiving team. 5 yards, re-kick.
No, they're going to call this encroachment on St. Louis. Bring the ball up to the 45-yard line.
Well, I guess they got across that line before the football got kicked by Keone Higa.
No, what happened, Mike, was St. Louis came across too early, believe it or not. Which you have to do, because if you don't, and as the kicker approaches the ball, if you don't approach and make an approach to play the ball, the kicker can sometimes onside kick at the last second, and the kickoff team can get the ball back. And Kealoha instead, though, will gather this in for St. Louis at his own 5. Kealoha spinning out to his 20-yard line, and that'll be it.
Do we have a loose ball?
Leading the Kamehameha tacklers, number
Not quite.
53, Andre Teixeira.
No, but a fine tackle by the kickoff coverage team of Kamehameha.
For the Crusaders.
Good tackle. Absolutely great tackle out there.
And so Darnell Arsenault with little better room this time starts out on his own 20-yard line. St. Louis, 0 backfield except for Darceneau. Everybody spread out in the passing formation, trips to the near side.
It's worked for him before. Arsenault
looking upstairs, finds his big fullback, Fuamatu Ma'afala, and Ma'afala powers it out along the 31-yard line.
Let's take a look one more time here. He's looking everywhere, up and down that field. Finds his target. Ma'afala, boom. He just ducks his head down. How are you going to stop that kid? You got to feed him, but that kid's going to make it all the way to college and make a fantastic football player.
I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't want to be in front of him, but hold the phone. A penalty brings us all back to the 15-yard line for the Crusaders. So the Crusaders getting snake bitten by themselves with penalties. They do something good, then they back themselves up on a penalty.
Yeah, we saw that one on the replay as he ducked his head down there and just plowed right on in there.
So call it 1st and 15 now, back at the 15-yard line for the Crusaders. Fuamatu Ma'afala again in trouble. Still manages to make some yardage. Give him about 3, possibly 4 on the play.
Kamehameha, number 92, Billy Piper.
Lineman number 61 for St. Louis checking in, Kitami.
2nd and 11.
He's got his hands full here. Ma'afala tried one more time, and it takes 4 of the Warriors to get him down. Back on play. 3 minutes and 18 seconds to play.
2nd and 11 for Fuamatu Ma'afala and company, and an interception on Arsenault as Arsenault just lazily flips the pass out there. Didn't see the linebacker floating in coverage, and it's picked off and a turnover, Kamehameha. So inside of the 10-yard line, the Warriors with the ball out around the, we'll call it the 7-yard line officially.
This ball recovered by the Kamehameha's number 50, Larry.
Well, we'll take a look at it one more time. You're going to see all kinds of players all over there. There's your drop. And rips it out of there as Kamehameha recovers their own fumble.
Coming off their own interception on the defense. And a late player coming on for St. Louis here on the D. Galataria will take it himself from 7 yards out. Touchdown, St. Louis.
We have another brand new ball game working out here. Galataria runs that ball on his own out there. Going to get that back here for the kick. Keone Higa lines it up. Going to get this one through the uprights. Get that extra point on the board. They need the margin here at halftime. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You can't get much better than that. For Higa.
First for the Warriors. 2:45 left in the first half. Kamehameha 17.
Okay, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game. So let's take a look one more time at this great run that we go back into to make this touchdown. Galutaria fakes a pass off there, runs around his right side, cuts it back in, and he's in the end zone there and makes the touchdown. Brings us up to a brand new score as our clock winds down here in the first half.
And indeed, Coach Blaine Geison's tsunami has indeed hit late in the form of Galutaria and Kawahikawa and the defense for Kamehameha. And the other thing, of course, basically, the other thing that Coach Geison said coming into this game was his team had to play a perfect ball game, and so far they're playing perfect. And St. Louis, making mistakes all over the field, find themselves trailing by 11 points, 17-6.
Keone Higa now setting up for the kickoff back to the Crusaders as the time runs down here on the first half. However, this game is not anywhere as close to being over yet. They'll get back, check all their tapes. Kickoff is down the field.
And this is to Eddie Kealoha, and he'll bring it up. He finds a seam and slides down around the 28, 29-yard line. I can tell you it's been quite a rivalry between St. Louis and Kamehameha throughout the years, and I can tell you that these two teams don't like each other too much.
Eddie Kealoha had made one fantastic run out there. Got on that artificial turf out there, just lost it on his right foot, got underneath him, and he didn't go all the way down. He didn't go down to both legs, so he thought that he still had a good run going for it.
So they spotted around the 27. Ornelas breaking loose, first down and more, busted out around the 40-yard line for the Crusaders. 2:12 remaining in the half. Big run by Ornelas that time.
George Ornelas, the guy they got to have to watch out there. You definitely got to get the heart rate up there when you see that man kicking off with the ball down there. Going to run it all the way out there, try to head for the sidelines out there to get the clock stopped. As it is stopped at 2 minutes and 6 seconds as we wind down here on this first half.
Credit Taron Chun with the touchdown-saving tackle for Kamehameha out there. As St. Louis with the ball, trailing 17-6 here in the first half. Ornelas once again, this time looking to throw. Finds Kavika Ordenstein just over the young man's head downfield. Defending on the play out there, number 38 for the Warriors, Taron Chun again. So Chun coming up big back-to-back for Kamehameha's defense.
Now there's a switch up for you. Kick it back out to Kealoha as he runs with it. Now he hoists back, kicks that ball out of there, passes it on down the line. And the intended receiver on that is Ordenstein?
Ordenstein, Kavika Ordenstein of the Ordenstein family.
Well, they're nice about it. They gave at least the first name of David and transferred that to Kavika, so we're okay.
And Arsenault will run this himself. Busts by one man over midfield to the 45, down to the 42-yard line of Kamehameha.
Well, they're going to move that back to about the 43-yard line. They got about 43 more yards to go. As we take a look here one more time on the replay. He's not going to take a chance on this one. He fakes that pass, dives right through the Kamehameha Warriors, line up, and then gets taken down.
And credit on the tackle. That's number 71, Kamuela Hughes. As we have a man down on the field for Kamehameha. And we'll be back with more. Our score right now, Kamehameha 17, St. Louis 6. Dennis and Tom coming off the field for Kamehameha. Warriors lead 17-6, 1:36 remaining here in the first half. First and 10, however, for St. Louis on the Warrior 42. Again, no men in the backfield except Arsenault. Everybody out for a pass. Firing down the middle, Arsenault, he finds Ornelas, complete. Ornelas headed to the sidelines and out of bounds up around the 26 of the Warriors now.
Good news and bad news. We do have a flag down back here shortly after they ran the ball out. Let's see if we can take a look at it as the replay is.
This
we'll
will
show
probably
back
be
on here,
holding.
but let's pick it up from the officials at this particular point.
This will probably be holding. We'll see.
Got a holding
Yep.
on the offense.
But
10
the heavy
yards.
rush that they were
Still
putting on
first down.
Arsenault, somebody had to be holding in there for the Crusaders.
Let's see if we can take a look at that holding there. Here's Arsenault. Gets the ball out. Good shot.
Oh, this is a dart, Mike. That's a dart. And a fine run here by Arsenault to race out of bounds, try and save the clock.
Ball is back to the St. Louis 43-yard line.
Well, take a little look at it there. Some of the people not real happy with that call in our grandstands out here.
So on a 1st and 25 from the Warrior 43, Arsenault fires to Kealoha, incomplete.
Can we call that an Arsenault arrow?
I'd say so.
Yeah. What a beautiful pass by Arsenault for the Crusaders. Let's take one more look at it here. On the run.
Oh, and
Yeah,
in and
he's
out
not
of the
gonna be
hands
happy.
of Eddie Kealoha.
Eddie Kealoha there taking a miss on that one, but going to be okay.
And a minute 16 remaining now for the Crusaders on 2nd and 25. This is like 1st and 10 for most any other team, let me tell you. The pass is complete. This is complete to number 80, Antonio Oliveira for the Crusaders.
Okay, we do have it. Let's take a look at it one more time as Oliveira is going to be taken out there all by himself. And what a tackle. What a great tackle there by Elton Perkins.
Another member of the Perkins family playing in the blue and white of Kamehameha this season. About a minute 1 remaining here in the first half as St. Louis trying to drive down.
Hey, your old polling place might not be there this year. So refer to your voter registration notice or call.
And back to action here at Aloha Stadium.
Well,
where
just
it's
some of the
36.
Just some of the 3,500 people we got watching this game here tonight as we get down to the field.
3rd and 6 on the 38. Minute 1 remaining in the ball game. Arsenault back to pass. Looking. Breaks out, has an open field in front of him to the 25, to the 20, churns it up inside, should have gone out of bounds. St. Louis does have one timeout left to take.
Well, definitely going to bring him down about the 12-yard line down there. 51 seconds left here in the first half. Take one more look here. Arsenault looks like he's a little bit in trouble here, looking for somebody to pass out to, and no one is there. Backs it up. Takes a look, and white costumes from Kamehameha Warriors all over him.
And on 1st and 10 from the 17, pass fired incomplete into the direction of Casey Lopes.
Take a look at Casey Lopes here one more time as drops the, oh no, it hit the deck before it got to him.
And back to action now. This will bring up a 2nd and 10. Call it the 16 for St. Louis. Knocking on Kamehameha's doorstep. Arsenault, for all his mistakes, I can tell you from having met the young man, a very poised young man out there. In spite of all his antics and his motion and everything, very, very emotionally in control young man.
He's looking, running it.
Oh, and they say a touchdown. Delayed call by the referee. You only have to break the plane of the goal line, and apparently they felt Arsenault did that.
This boy has been bringing himself out and doing a super job out there. We're talking about a real man out there playing football for the St. Louis Crusaders. Could not find an opening because he was all over and ran that ball on through there. The sideline judge out there calls that one through. They're going to line it back up here. 26 seconds left, and the score right now 17-12 as we wrap down this back front half, I should say, of this football game. 26 seconds to go and left, and a timeout is called on the field. Let's take a look one more time for him to get back here in trouble. He's looking down the field, looking for somebody to throw that ball to. He is, what a good open field runner. Now, right here, he dives in and...
Well, they say he took out the pylon.
Well,
now, I know the crowd for Kamehameha isn't happy about this, Mike, but if you take out that pylon, a lot of times the referees simply say, hey, to take out the pylon, and especially if it's breaking outward, that means he was inside the line. All you have to do is break that imaginary plane, and that's a touchdown.
well, that's the rule book. I would say that the referee is right on then with that call because the pylon did go over, and he did take it out. He did take it out.
And Coach Cal Lee talking with his offense. They're going to go for 2 here from the 3-yard line. I formation for the Crusaders. Everyone in tight. Here goes Ornelas, and he'll be a yard shy, and the Crusaders continue to trail 17-12 now. So instead of trailing by 3 points, they now trail by 5.
Let's take one more look here and see what happened coming on down the line here. It just totally got held back. Actually tripped over top of some of the other ones. I think he thought he was a little bit closer to the goal line than what he was when he made that dive.
Indeed, he may have, and then again, he may have also run up through the wrong hole. But when it comes to George Ornelas, as you see the St. Louis Crusader cheerleaders, of course, celebrating the touchdown. Of course, the extra point, no good. Attempt for 2, I should say. But with Ornelas, I guess most of the times you just give him the ball and you just let him make the decisions to where he wants to go.
Well, getting back to that touchdown, it'll look a little bit controversial. You do not have to be on the ground to get across the line. We'd have to take a look at it as a plane, as a full line coming up all the way through there. And why the call would be made is because that post down there, the pylon, did get melted over by Arciero at that time that he came through there. So, or Arsenault, pardon me.
And that's
as he came through. So that's why that call would be made that way.
And the Kamehameha Warriors set up in an onside receiving position. St. Louis seeing that. Both sides call, somebody calls timeout. I believe probably Kamehameha. So our score right now, Kamehameha leads 17-12.
It takes 4 tanks of fuel to get them there and back, and they're not planning to stop till they get home. Air National Guard.
And back to action. Eddie Pack with the onside kick. This comes into the hands of the dangerous Dylan Ching, and he grounds it right there at the 16-yard line.
Well, 24 seconds left in this first half of this football game. And what a game it has been up to this point. 24 seconds left to go as The Warriors take possession of the ball. 17. The clock is counting down now.
I don't think
12
they'll
seconds remain on the clock, and I think they'll count it down. We have much more less than that. I think they're going to get a good talking to as they go down into the pit area down there before this one's all over. That's the first half.
Head to the locker room here with our scores. St. Louis 17, Kamehameha 12. We'll see what happens in the second half.
Calling play for the Warriors, number 3, Keone Higa.
And back to action. Second half about to get underway with our score. Kamehameha leading St. Louis at this juncture, 17-12, as Gibson, or I should say Higa, kicking off, and we get underway here. As Kavika Ordenstein gathers in the opening kickoff, he reverses his field. He's got all kinds of running room out to midfield and more, as they take him out around the 45-yard line of Kamehameha. Fine run by the young man from St. Louis, Kavika Ordenstein. Run out of bounds there.
Let's take a look at it one more time, and I think this might come up a little more clear exactly what had happened here as he comes piling down the field here. Makes a good switch up, going all the way to his far right out there. Nobody around. And then here comes Kale Awang. Charles Kale Awang. Charles? Okay.
Charles in charge. Fumatu Ma'afala, inside handoff. Busted out big over the 40-yard line on 1st and 10. Bringing up a second down and about, we'll call it 4.
Well, it's the big guy one more time. I know that he's got a college bowl time coming up in front of him if this boy keeps on playing as well as Ma'afala is doing so far throughout this season here for the 1994 football season.
2nd and 4 on the 39 of the Warriors for the Crusaders. See if they've managed to sharpen things up. The delay, the give, Ma'afala, big time, 25, down to the 23-yard line.
He's got to be feeling extremely good about himself going into these games and also being we'll take another look at it here as Ma'afala breaks on through that line. He just actually got inundated with a whole lot of jerseys out of the Kamehameha Warriors right there. Did not have a chance to get
on
through
the
that
march. With Arsenault giving on the delay handoff. Ma'afala again, bust by one man to the 10, down to the 5-yard line, and the Crusaders coming out of the locker room and looking sharp right now.
Yeah. Okay, Ma'afala is the one that's going to be given the seminars before the night's over here for closed field running. One more time as Ma'afala, kid has got speed, he's got endurance, he's got everything going for him, plus a good smart runner out there also.
And this time Arsenault, shotgun formation. He'll run it himself. He has all kinds of running room. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Well, if you're going to get the job done, you're not going to blame it on anybody else. You're going to get out there and do it yourself. Arsenault, I think that he made that play that way this time. Figured he could get on the way through there and plowed on in. As they get back on the field here to get all lined up, as the Crusaders, looks like we're going to have a substitution coming in. A couple of different substitutions going on right now, and we've got a minor timeout. 10 minutes and 51 seconds down here in the third quarter already as the St. Louis Crusaders are now in the lead, opening the second half of tonight's football game, 18-17 over the Kamehameha Warriors.
Here's St. Louis showing the other half of their offense, Crusader Express. As they try for 2 again, Ornelas comes up short on the play, but St. Louis takes a 1-point lead, 18-17.
This is, well, we had a flag down on that one, so they're going to be able to line it up and try that one more time. as we actually open a second half already with a brand new football game starting all over again. The only difference this time is we have a 1-point differential going into this. We're just about less than a minute and 10 seconds gone into this game as the Crusaders got back on the board and making a brand new one out of this one. Short timeout down here.
I was going to say, Mike, that clipping call against St. Louis, if you're Kamehameha, you decline, take away,
Let's take a look at this quarterback run this one in here as he fakes everybody out, pulls all the way around to his left-hand side here, makes a dive, good timing, and he is right on the numbers as he gets into the end zone. So Arsenault pulls it off one more time. That's 2 touchdowns for him tonight out of the 18 points for the Crusaders.
And actually, Arsenault has accounted for all 18 points for the Crusaders, in effect, completing an 89-yard touchdown pass to George Ornelas, taking it in also from 16 yards out with 26 seconds remaining in the half. And then again, just now, 5-yard run by Arsenault again to make it 18-17. St. Louis in the lead by 1.
Well, let's get back to more football here as we take a look at St. Louis now getting ready to kick back to the Kamehameha Warriors.
And on the kickoff, Pack, the barefooted kicker, lines it into the direction of number 27 of Kamehameha, Gouveia.
Oh!
And he tries to get it off to Ching, I believe, and either way, it gets swarmed under and Ching driven back. Let's see what they give him forward progress to.
Dylan Ching taking a receive on that one, taking a good look at the kicker there,
Eddie Pack,
for them. Let's take a look at Dylan Ching. I mean, he got swarmed on. Kid is usually, once he gets out there, all over him. 4 suits down there, all over him.
And Galateri on 1st and 10. And they say that number 10, Kavika Batoon, I believe that is. No, Anthony Lakins, the St. Louis defensive back, trapped the ball, so no interception. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now on the incompletion by Galateri of Kamehameha.
Take another look at it here as Galateria pumps that ball out there, out in the middle of nowhere. Now, that particular line was not real clear exactly what happened there.
And the give is out once again, this time to Martin. Martin, no running room at all. Give him 1, maybe 2 yards, and that'll be about it.
He didn't any longer than picked up on that ball. Jonah Martin got stopped. You'll see him right here almost get the ball ripped out of his hands, and there he is. He goes down. Crusaders all over him.
And so back on the Crusaders sideline, they've been stymied this evening for the most part by Kamehameha, but they've come out and they immediately scored right off the opening possession in the 3rd quarter. Kamehameha trying to answer here. The give this time is to Martin again. Martin stumbles, and Martin brought down inside the 15-yard line of the Warriors. And the St. Louis defense swarms and attacks and brings him down.
You're on that 14-yard line, 9 minutes and 19 seconds into the 3rd quarter. And they march back on down the field.
Good job here by Jonathan Amarin, and coming in to finish it all off is Kavika Batoon for the Crusaders. Back deep is Ornelas along with Eddie Kealoha as Gibson will punt it out of there for Kamehameha. This one will be short and dribble on the sidelines, and it's out right along the 31, possibly 32. Good field position for St. Louis inside Warrior territory.
I would probably take a venture to guess out of here as they do their play-up. Lane Geisen out there is going to take a look at it and try to figure out when they get back on the field in possession of that ball exactly what they can do. St. Louis Crusaders at this particular point are sitting very good with field advantage right now on their own 31-yard line, working down back into the camp area that they can make within striking distance, no problem whatsoever.
Here's Arsenault looking. Flips it out to Ornelas. Pass is incomplete. That was dangerously close to a lateral, in which case that could have been a fumble. But it's a forward pass and incomplete.
Take a look at it again here and see if you want to take this as a lateral or a forward pass. can't really. Ornelas is, you're probably not going to see that happen again all year long, but now that we've got it on television and tape, it's going to be right there in big, full living room color.
One of the few times you'll ever see a ball get away from George Ornelas, let me tell you. 2nd and 10 now for the Crusaders on the Warrior 31. Arsenault looking to go up top again. Slings it downfield, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That's number 21, Casey Lopes out there. They'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now.
Casey's been getting a lot of good play in here, and we can probably see him just fade off to the side of the screen right there, and just about there. But he was pretty well airborne by the time that he got up there. A little bit out of balance, and it just tipped off both hands, actually. He could not get both hands together at the time.
Well, part of it was, too, the pass a little too tall and perhaps a little behind him, it looked like.
Back down on the field, 8 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Score is still the Crusaders at 18, Kamehameha Warriors at 17. It's a reversion here as they go into this second half where the Crusaders were behind, and within less than 2 minutes, they were ahead.
Here's Arsenault. Up top, Ornelas! Touchdown, St. Louis!
Okay.
From 31 yards out.
I made one boo-boo. I'll have to make up for it, friends. I'm going to get back into the action out there and show you. Nah, I was just giving everybody a handicap on that one. I missed the other one down there because you can see the expression on his face. No big thing. Going to line it back up. Here goes the kicking action coming up. I think we have a brand new team out there with the Crusaders opening up this second half. The Warriors, they've got to break down their defense here one more time. Straight through the uprights.
Number 31, Joe Fox, first for the Crusaders.
So the Crusaders jump out ahead now, 25-17, as they take a, well, that's a 5-point lead, I should say.
We're taking a look at Kuhn Pack down here for the Crusaders. The kicker on there just took it right down through the uprights. Here is a good shot. Back down to George Ornelas. And like I said, hey, I boo-booed a little bit before, or did I just give you guys a handicap to throw you off base there? That was a hard catch. That was a tough one. He pulled it out of the air and made it into the end zone. So now he has 2 touchdowns, along with Arsenault, 2 touchdowns. Of course, the rest of the team is in there also. They are not going to do it all by themselves.
And indeed. Recalculating my mathematics, it's an 8-point lead now for the Crusaders.
At 8 minutes and 36 seconds to go. So, in less than 4 minutes, they have gotten 2 touchdowns here into the second half.
And kicking off, this is Pack. Touching it is Ching right around his goal line. He'll try and bring it out of here. He's got some good speed. Gets by one man, down to the 35, to the 40, midfield, and finally taken out right around. They're going to say he stepped out at the 42. Oh, holy cow, what a return, 41 yards. And right from the beginning of his goal line.
Take a look at this. See where he is at when he retrieves this ball. Look, you just cannot quite see the pylon right off to his right-hand side there. He was down in the end zone, picks that ball back up, runs this one all the way down this line, and they're going to spot that ball on the 42-yard line. 42 yards that kid ran that ball, or at least that's what they should give him credit for.
Year of the utility player, somebody that can do it all. Kawahikawa tries to do it all there and runs into the stone wall St. Louis defense that time.
St. Louis coming out of the box on the second half of this football game has got the Kamehameha Warriors, especially Blaine Geisen, has got to say, what did they know that I didn't know when I should have known it on that first half? His defense is not working so far on this second half.
Credit Kelly Bryant with the stop on Kawahikawa that time. Galataria looking back, and Galataria swallowed up by the defense of St. Louis. Credit number 58 out there at the linebacker position, Bruce Asili, 5'10", 220, the senior.
He certainly came back into that one very, very well. Usually you see a whole lot of shirts out there, but take a look at this one. As he breaks loose, And the only guy that was on there was a silly all over him, actually, getting that one. I think everybody else is sitting back and waiting for somebody to come to them. The silly just jumped right on in there and nailed him down. Timeout.
So on 3rd and 17, timeout on the field with our score, St. Louis leading Kamehameha 25-17.
Well, the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl, the tickets are on sale at the box office, and the box office opens at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., along with the tapes of tonight's show. Those are all available here at Aloha Stadium.
And back to action. 3rd down and 18, they call it, on the 34 of the Warriors for Kamehameha. Galuteria under center. Galuteria back to pass. A screen pass. Kawa Hikawa set up. Hikawa finds some room, running room up the middle, but only manages to make it a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Warriors. Kali'i Gibson to punt.
Well, I think he made a little bit more than 1 yard. They started out on the 34-yard line as Kawa Hikawa right here with the football is going to make a little bit of real estate moving up through that line out there at this particular time. Then he goes down, and they are on the 43rd-yard line, 44-yard line.
Well, I said it was the original line of scrimmage, and that punt barely gets away from Gibson. This will take a Kamehameha bounce, and it'll bounce down inside the St. Louis 27.
Okay, change of teams out on the field out there as we take a look at Kamehameha Warrior out there, number 80.
Kali'i Gibson, the punter. Young man who also plays wide receiver, sometimes slot back.
Lots of good versatility for a player out there. That shows a lot of intelligence, a lot of good coaching from Blaine Geisen of Kamehameha.
This has just been a year of the all-around player, basically. Chris Bogofi of Waianae, another example. Sean Takamori of Iolani, yet another example. Casey Lopes this time on the pitch out. Gets a couple of yards over to about the 30-yard line, and they'll say that's it.
Well, a lot of the Warriors all over the top of that one as he gets out there.
And here's Lopes taking the pitch out, Mike, and just basically to play on a play of words, just loping around and getting himself a couple of yards.
Totally overpowered by about 4 Warriors is his whole problem he had out there. Okay.
So Arsenal now, it's 2nd and 8 at the 30. Fires it out. Ball is knocked down. Nice effort out there by Kamehameha's number 92, Billy Piper, 6'2", He had the interception and the catch last week for the touchdown against Iolani.
Take a look at Billy here one more time. He really got right in the middle of that thing. He was right there. Looked like he should be playing basketball.
He does.
He does. Okay.
Kind of hard on the hardwood at his weight, but let me tell you, he can play.
Yes, no problem right there. Very fast.
Here's Arsenault on 3rd and 8 now from the Crusader 30. Wings it out. He'll just throw this one out of bounds. Although if he had looked right around the Warrior 35, he had a wide open Kavika Ordenstein with absolutely no one in a white jersey anywhere near him.
Well, I'd say that last time out that they've had out there, Kamehameha Warriors have been holding back their Crusaders extremely well here. Crusaders going back on the boards with 2 touchdowns in less than 4 minutes opening up the second half. We're at 5 minutes and 35 seconds, and not a whole lot's happened except that the Crusaders seem to be losing ground this time around. We are not done yet by a long shot on this football game.
And they come up a little short on punt coverage numbers as they send in number 37, Christopher Undani, as Ornelas gets this away. Called fair catch for by Dillon, and he'll take it back around the 37-yard line, be 1st and 10 for the Warriors from there.
As versatile as George Ornelas looks at here, I would say that there's also probably a good future for him in some sort of major football, playing Major League out here somewhere before this boy decides to hang up his sneakers anywhere along the line. George Ornelas is doing an extremely good job out there and looking very good tonight.
I'm told
2 of the 4 touchdowns go to George Ornelas.
I'm told he could also make pretty good money in the pro surfing circuit. I understand the young man, quite a good surfer, too. Kawa Hikawa ahead for a couple of yards on 1st and 10 for Kamehameha from their own 38.
Okay.
Officially, they spot the ball up around the 42 for the Crusaders. 5:13 remaining here in the third quarter. Crusaders ahead, 25-17. They officially make it 2nd and 6 now on the 42. So, nice run by Kawa Hikawa there. Young man is the 3rd leading rusher in.
We're just getting a good shot there on Jacob Saoli, and they're showing this boy at 170 pounds, and I think that's going to be a misprint.
And like I said, that's a year-old roster.
6 feet.
Oh,
good
pass
and tipped out of there.
Galateria. On the play, there was number 4, it's Jonathan Amarin.
Yeah, take a look at it here one more time as Amarin gets over there and just about gets that tipped out of there. So, Crusaders' defense is not over either. 17-25, 4 minutes, 46 seconds left here in the third quarter. But the Crusaders bouncing back heavily in this second half.
Galateria, once again, looking deep. Fires in the short range and fires to his out man. And that's Martin once again. And so Martin, missing on that deep pass, pulls up the short one and just enough for the first down.
I think
out around midfield.
Play here was fast enough that Galateria got this one off before anybody got themselves all sorted out on the field. Martin was right there, nice and open, and down the ball, stopped the clock.
Galateria, fine quarterback in the short and intermediate range passes. It's only on the deep balls that he has some problems trying to find his receivers. But in that short to intermediate range, he's very dangerous. And again, he tries to get it off here, and coming in on the play there, as you saw, number 56, Jacob Yoro. Linebacker, 5'10", 190, a sophomore. Did he ever lower a cartouche on Galateria that time?
He took a tough one there. Where did that word come from?
I have no idea. 3:52 remaining here in the third period. Crusaders lead 25-17.
Okay.
Kamehameha, though, on the march here. Kawa Hikawa tries to break loose, butts ahead. Gets maybe 1 or 2 yards, and that's it.
Well, I think they're going to give that one to 95. The only one who really actually broke through the line there and picked back up on it.
And that is
Togiola.
Sun Togiola. Yes, it is. Busting through and making the ankle tackle. Galateria with 3 receivers here on the near side, 2 to the far side, looking to pass. The pressure coming on. Galateria runs for his life, wings it downfield, picked off. And making the pickoff out there for the Crusaders, Joseph Mendoza III.
Let's take a look as Mendoza works his way in here. Galateria looking all over that field, and there he is. Mendoza just sashayed right on over there and picked that one out of there. So Mendoza becoming a hero on that one and getting the stops in there.
And so things beginning to unravel for Kamehameha. Coach Blaine Geisen said they had to play a perfect game, and things are falling apart. The pass complete to Ornelas out along the sideline. He dances around, makes several good yards out over to the, we'll call it the 44.
2 minutes, 20 seconds left just about here as we take a look now. Ornelas should be on the receiving end over there. Picks off the ball and makes a twist out and now gets, I think we're going to get by on that one, and we move back onto the field.
And so Arsenault on 2nd down and 5 on the 44 of the Warriors. Or his own 44, I should say. Here comes Fuumatu Ma'afala. He gets a first down if he got out around the 50-yard line. And they'll give him from the 50 to the 49 into Kamehameha territory.
Ma'afala's got to be real happy with his action here tonight. He's getting a lot of good play action. He's doing an extremely good job. He just got himself a little bit tipped over right there and fell down with the ball. Didn't really get a full tackle on him.
And a nice bring down by Elton Perkins at the very end there, as you saw, for Kamehameha. From shotgun, here's Arsenault. Some heavy pressure. He dances around, gets free, ball's free, falls on it though. Looks like Crusaders will retain possession. Arsenault sometimes known to dance a little too much out there.
Okay, let's take a look one more time as Arsenault, he's looking all around that field and gets the football actually ripped right out of his hands there and almost mutilated as everybody else dives for that ball. This game is not anywhere from being over yet. We have less than a minute left here in the third quarter.
2nd and 17 on the St. Louis 44. Crusaders with the quick slant look in to Lopes. Nothing doing.
Still a very, very good game, as we had seen the Warriors originally coming out here looking very, very tight over the Crusaders. The Crusaders come back and just bombed them coming into the second half with 2 straight touchdowns within less than 4 minutes going into this game. We're down to 50 seconds left. That score has not changed as the Crusaders still stand at 25 points against the Kamehameha Warriors at 17. 50 seconds to go here in the top side of the fourth quarter.
Arsenault looking deep. Fires down the middle to Lopes, picked off. This is being returned by number 28 for the Warriors,
Leland
Kalua. And you had a feeling the way Arsenault was dancing around out there that
Let's take a look at this one more time here to see exactly what happened when Kalua came in here. Arsenault has got an arrow, an Arsenault arrow that goes out there, just gets tipped out. And he is on the run back up the field. Leland Kalua dancing around there a little bit. Now finally gets hauled down by the Crusaders. Kamehameha's got the ball. 24 seconds to go.
You had the feeling Arsenault was dancing on the edge of the razor blade there as Kawahikawa gets the carry and carries a couple of Crusaders up around near midfield for about a 6-yard pickup.
Okay, we are down. We've got 8 seconds left on the clock here. We go for a replay, and the clock stops. Kawayaho as he gets on down.
Nice fine running by Kawahikawa, keeping himself low down there. Hard to tackle for Coach Blaine Geison's Warriors. As we have a timeout on the field with 7 seconds remaining, third period, it's the St. Louis Crusaders 25, the Kamehameha Warriors 17. And back to action here at Aloha Stadium. 7 seconds left here in the third period. 25-17, the Crusaders have come back to take a lead here. They were down 17 to
The bad news here, though, is the player that we're helping off the bench, back to the bench right now, is Ryan Kawa, as he will probably be sitting down for a little bit, sucking on that Gatorade on the sidelines as Kamehameha, the Warriors, back in action here. In winding down, and the third quarter is now at an end. It is all wiped out of time. They'll change the sides out of here as Kawa is back on the bench with a slight injury. Hopefully we'll see him back and play in action.
And as we change ends of the field, it's St. Louis 25, Kamehameha 17.
Quarter, kid. It's your quarter.
Back on the field, play action. Getting into the very last quarter, winding down this game here tonight.
And Galateria turning it up. Brings up a 3rd and 9 now.
We'll take a look at a replay here and keep our eyes on the number 58. That's Bruce Asili. He's got in quite a few actions out on the defensive side here for the Crusaders throughout the evening. We just haven't given it enough ink time here on the video for the type of playing that he is doing out there.
I said 39. It's 3rd and 1. Correction on that. Galateria mix up in the backfield.